Welcome to the Silent Hunter Burning Sun video. This is a short demonstration of some of the things that you can see in Silent Hunter 5. Currently I'm walking around on my submarine up to the flat gun on the rear of the sub, at the rear of the conning tower. We're taking a look at a freighter which was destroyed with deck guns, and he has not yet sunk. So by the end of this video we're going to have a nice little surprise. You can climb up the conning tower and speak to your crewmates, give them specific orders, raise and load the periscope, operate the UZA device, the optical device for surface attacks, which we'll be using a little bit later on in the video. Here you can see the freighter's currently burning, it's on fire, it's not yet sunk. There is someone still alive on the freighter. Apparently they're operating a searchlight, and we call this volumetric lighting. If you also take a look at the sunrise coming through the back of the smoke and burning oil, you'll see lighting effects coming through the different parts of the freighter, the mast, the main deck, the bridge. So as we get up to the front of the submarine, we'll now see those light trails coming right through from the rear sunrise. That's another good example of volumetric lighting. Also, you can hear the fire burning in the background as we're up close and personal. This freighter could explode at any minute. Before we leave, take a look at the shadows on the water coming from both the fire and the sunrise. And now we'll return to the center of the submarine and prepare to get underway. Unfortunately, I used all of my deck ammo and all of my machine gun ammo on about 9 different freighters, and I've only used 1 torpedo so far. So we are currently down to only torpedoes. The only way to finish off this freighter will be to put out 1 rear torpedo. I'm now standing on the rear deck of the sub over the rear torpedo tube. And we indicate our speed instructions to our first officer to move out and extend the distance away from the freighter. Your torpedoes will not arm themselves if you're under the minimum distance. They'll just bounce off the hull of the freighter. So you need to have a clearance. The torpedo generally shoots forward about 50 meters or in the reverse direction about 50 meters in a straight line before accepting any instructions to curve left or right. You can literally shoot the torpedo out the rear and have it turn up to a little bit more than 90 degrees to your left or right. So you could be going parallel with a convoy. We're now switching to the rear torpedo, and we adjusted the
torpedo depth set to 3 meters. Radar 0. Radar 0.
You'll hear the sound of the launching torpedo in just a moment. We're just getting a last look at the actual shape and size of the freighter. We are currently angle on bow at about 45 degrees from the freighter's point of view.
Firing tube 5.
We're looking out the rear. So in playing Silent Hunter 5, you always have to keep in mind the perspective. Are you talking about the angle from the point of view of the freighter or from your own sub? An angle of bow is always from the point of the enemy ship, the point of view. And right there we get the finishing hit on the torpedo rear tube fired at the freighter. There's some secondary explosions. Also notice the volumetric smoke rising up into the sky. And last but not least, the wide perspective view shows us a very foggy atmosphere. So enemy ships could be hiding in the fog just out of your sight. There's different days with different weather effects. And this particular morning, as the sun was rising, I came across the convoy by surprise. Fortunately for me, I could do a surface attack because I was able to get in close and they had no weapons. This was an unarmed convoy. And there's the last and final secondary explosion with particle effects going up and back down into the water. Finally, we see the freighter slipping beneath the ocean waves. Let's go into the inside of the submarine. We'll go down the conning tower. There's the commander's conning tower area. There's an extra periscope there that we just passed by, and we're coming up on the sound man. The soundman's office contains the sonar device, listening device, so we are now at all stop to prevent the sound of our propellers from blocking any incoming propeller sounds of enemy ships. We're just doing a complete sweep to make sure that we didn't miss any ships out in the fog. And it's helpful if you do go down to periscope depth.
Periscope depth.
Reduce the amount of waves crashing against the hull of your ship. You get an increased sound signatures. Some of the crew members have a few comments about
Captain,
the state of the
denied
port,
our
and
resupply.
we've now come to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. War, Herr Kaloin, is a matter of will, not fleet size.